Hey, congratulations, Red Carpet for the Wild Beauty documentary. How does it feel for being here tonight?
Well, I think Ashley did a fantastic job with this movie, really telling the story of wild horses in the West and how the livestock industry is running roughshod over the public lands and pushing out wild horses and so many other species as well. So it's fantastic to get this kind of exposure for such an important issue.
So how did you get involved into this documentary in the first place?
Well, it was really the wild horse photographer Kimberly Curl who brought me in and suggested me as a resource, as an expert for the film, and I came out to the Red Desert and was able to be filmed and interviewed for it, and it just went from there.
Now, forgive me if I get the name of the project wrong. Was it Western Watersheds Project?
That's right. That's right.
Tell us about your involvement in it, and what is it?
Western Watersheds Project is a nonprofit conservation group that works to protect and restore wildlife and public lands throughout the American West. We really focus on healthy public lands, thriving native ecosystems, and trying to get human activities to be compatible with maintaining the natural world. So it's really, trying to flip the old frontier mentality on its head, and instead of trying to dominate and suppress nature, trying to live mutualistically and compatibly with nature.
So this myth of overpopulation of wild horses is not true for the ecosystem?
It really isn't. Back in the time of Lewis and Clark, there were 2 to 7 million wild horses in the American West. That was a time when we had a healthy ecosystem the likes of no one ever alive has ever seen. And today we only have perhaps 70, 80,000 wild horses in the West. And, we have millions of cattle on those same lands. And when people blame the wild horses for range conditions, they're really covering up for the fact that it's cattle and sheep that are destroying the range.
Most excellent. What is your personal experience with these majestic creatures? What started it off for you?
Well, it really all started off for me maybe 25 years ago when I was doing wilderness inventories and books about wilderness areas throughout the West, and I saw wild horses out in candidate areas for wilderness. And then over the years, I saw wild horses as one of those kind of interesting animals that was kind of in the background, never really got fully involved and engaged in the issue until I came to Western Watersheds Project, when we really zoomed in on the effects of herbivores on ecosystems, and it became very obvious to me that wild horses were being scapegoated for damage being done by the livestock industry.
Now, before I let you go, because people are going to hear about this, they're going to watch a documentary, what's the call to action then?
Well, I think, the public needs to, number one, know what's going on. Number two, tell their elected leaders what's going on. And number three, put the pressure on the Bureau of Land Management, on the Forest Service, to have a much more healthy and sustainable management of these wild horses instead of just treating them like livestock and trying to get rid of them.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable story what our taxpayer dollars are going for.
Yeah, it really doesn't uphold the public interest at all, and it's really managing the public lands for private profit, and that just doesn't make any sense to anyone.
Most excellent. Hey, Eric, thank you very much for carrying this conversation. Thank you for coming back on the red carpet to talk to me about it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.